So I'm going to take a look in here and see if we had any better prices on batteries for portable, since the weather's starting to get a little nicer. And so when it comes to these kind of batteries, my experience has been that you can use these smaller ones, but if they're this size, they're probably not 20 amp hour. And you're going to need to solder the terminals, and you're going to be very careful when doing that because you're going to melt the epoxy. So if you're diligent, you should be able to find something pretty cheap on here that's decent quality. You shouldn't need to pay $129 for a 20 amp hour battery, and you shouldn't need to buy an expensive Bioenno battery, which really has no advantages at all. So I try to avoid anything like this. I don't like the tabs on them. I really don't. I want them in this form factor, and these are enough to run 100 watt radio. You can even run 100 watt radio on something as little as 6 amp hours, because the battery is able to supply more than 6 amps for an instantaneous surge on single sideband. It's usually almost 3 times its rated amp hour power on most batteries. There really hasn't been a lot of deals lately on these smaller batteries. You don't want these. These are flooded lead acid. You only want lithium iron phosphate batteries for ham radio. You could use lithium ion polymer batteries if you want. They're a little more risky. They don't usually come in this kind of form factor. But God, why are they showing me all these crappy batteries? These are all lead acid, sealed lead acid type of batteries. I wonder if there's a way to narrow this thing down. Anyway, there really hasn't been any deals. It just doesn't seem to be. So I think maybe prices are going back up, so maybe there might be some kind of weird stuff going on with China or something like that. Also, there's going to be some weird stuff going on with the U.S. dollar. So, I've told you guys before, when I find the prices low, I'm telling you, if you need this stuff, like some of these batteries for like off-grid, you need to buy them when you see them cheap. Don't wait around for them to get cheaper, because they might not be available. And in the current state that things are in, everything is pretty unpredictable. I mean, like, we don't really know what the hell is going to happen. I mean, last year I was buying 6 amp hour batteries for like $12, and now they're like $30. And then 100 amp hour batteries were down to like $204. And I don't know if they went back up, but these small batteries don't seem to be affordable. I mean, $49 for this one, is about the best I've seen in a while. Here's a 6 amp hour. What comes with a charger, which I guess is cool. It looks like a midday brand, but it's something else. There's 12 amp hour, $49. It's just the prices aren't what they were last year around Thanksgiving time. So maybe they'll go back down again. I don't know. But the other thing to consider is all of this is definitely cheaper than dealing with Bioenno batteries from HRO or anything like that. I mean, those are really overpriced. That's like buying a Battleborn battery, Only the Battleborn battery, you're going to get a high-quality battery. Bioenno, you're just getting some garbage catered to the ham radio community. They're like, hey, how dumb do we think these hams are? Hey, let's fleece them for their money. We'll sell them these Chinese batteries. We'll add this little cool feature here, and they'll all lap it up like lap dogs. So, I bought one of these batteries for under $20, and that's the one I have. So if you don't mind paying $10 more, this is a good battery for portable. You can run a 100 amp hour radio on it. I soldered the terminals on mine because I kept having voltage drop across them. I tried different connectors and things like that. It just didn't want to work. So I soldered them, and they've been fine ever since. Here's an 8 amp hour battery. I mean, any of these will work, and you get, just put it to the test. Use it. Because you got 30 days, there's a problem with it. Some of them might say they're not returnable. This is a really good price on this. $169 with a $10 coupon. Somebody did a review on these, and there's screws in them, and the top comes off. And they took it apart, and they really liked it. It was using pouch cells, I think. Here's a better battery, in my opinion. It's got the screw connectors on the top. A 12 amp hour, but it's $59. So it's like, that's kind of expensive. So, 8 amp hour for 40. I mean, there's nothing on here I'd really recommend at this time. I mean, if you need one, buy one. By all means. But there's nothing on here where I'm like, oh, that's such a good deal. Because they're not. The prices are ridiculous. No joke battery. I would never buy anything that said that on there. What are they? I mean, who are they trying to sell these to? What market are they appealing to? I wonder. Ionic. That's a lot of money for that. So just don't overpay for these kind of batteries. Don't buy a Bioenno unless you're just rich and you got money to burn. I mean, they're really expensive. And you're not getting anything special. I mean, what are you getting? Maybe a $10, $20 charger with it. They've put a little piggyback connector on it. It's just not worth it. It's stupid. You're getting hosed. Hey, speaking of Bioenno, let's look at the Bioenno battery and see what kind of crazy ass prices they've got on Amazon. It's probably sold by Ham Radio Outlet, DX Engineering, or one of them. Let's see what we got. I thought I just seen it. Come on, man. So when you have like a no buy it now box, it means this company pissed off Amazon, and Amazon's not going to really let you buy from them. They just haven't removed their listing. But if you wanted to look at the price of their batteries, we would just go to Ham Radio Outlet, because it's easier to look it up on there. Their prices, Amazon has a deal where if you overprice things on Amazon compared to your actual site or other sites or eBay, they will remove your listing. They use an algorithm to determine and detect when you do things like that. Okay. Let's see here. By the way, they want a $35 pre-registration fee for that EAC radio. If you go to R&L Electronics, the pre-registration is $1. And you guaranteed that radio is going to be cheaper on R&L Electronics or the same price with no tax. I don't know. I'm not really sure how they do that no tax thing. I think that they pay the tax in bulk. They just take it out of their profits. But, I'm not sure how Ham Radio Outlet's doing as well as they're doing, because they have a really bad return policy. And they tax things really strange and misleading ways. Okay, Bioenno battery. We're not going to click on them. But here is the 10 amp hour battery. It's $179. We'll click on it so you can see it. $179 for a 10 amp hour battery. It's just got a little pigtail on it so you can charge it with an Anderson power pole. Big frickin' deal. $129. And of course they're sold out of them because you people that buy these are fucking morons. You have not done your research. You're too scared to put together your own battery pack. It's crazy. They're charging $21 for a charger, $24 for a charger. They're not anything special. Here's the 6 amp hour battery. They want $79 for a 6 amp hour battery. The 20 amp hour battery, they want $189. That's going to be the one that everybody's going to buy. And that's because they don't understand that it doesn't mean that the battery provides 20 amps. It actually provides about 3 times that. So that this battery will provide a surge of probably almost to 60 amps. But you can buy you can buy a 100 amp hour big huge ass battery for the price of this. But a 20 amp hour battery for a quarter of this price if you're, diligent. So that's not a good deal at all. I should title this video, Bioenno Batteries Are a Ripoff. But, the problem is that what happens is we get these hams on here. You guys might call them sad hams. And they get upset because they're lids. They're appliance operators. And they're fanboys. And these are the same kind of people that believe everything they see and hear. And they purchase this stuff like, mass consumers. And it's a good product and it works great. And so they stand behind it and they defend the price. It's almost like Stockholm Syndrome. They've been taken captive by these companies and they defend their captors, not realizing that they're being misled and ripped off and paying for some fancy packaging. Here's a 15 amp hour, 149. A 12 amp hour for 124, 9 amp hour for 100. A 3 amp hour battery for $49. What in the hell is a 3 amp hour battery? I mean, that's a joke. $49 for this thing? It looks like it's so small it fits in your old cordless 900 megahertz cell phone, cordless phone. So, anyway, avoid them if you want a battery and you're serious about portable. You don't need this crap. Go get yourself a battery. Learn how to fucking build something. Learn how to fucking crimp some Anderson power poles. Learn how to do something. This is not a hobby for mass consumers. This is not a hobby where you are supposed to be memorizing the questions and buying your Alpha Delta pre-made antennas. The only thing that you should be buying pre-made is your radio. Most everything else, if you can build it, you should be trying to build it. This is the amateur radio hobby is about experimenting and learning. And at least bare minimum, know how to damn wire up a frickin' battery. You really need somebody to put the power poles on there for you. You need this. You can't do that yourself. Do you need help going to the bathroom too? I mean, come on, man. But somebody's going to say something. They're going to go, "You're such a dick. You're an asshole. You're just jealous." No, I'm not. I don't care. I don't like seeing my fellow hams paying money like this for products that are really not offering anything that significantly groundbreaking. I mean, here's an example right here: 6 amp hour battery, $59. It's not a great deal, but I mean, it's certainly a better price than what they want for their crap. 7 amp hour, $27. Hey, you could even build your own cells. You get 4 Eve cells, 230 amp hour battery. It's a big battery. So, you could build your own, different types of other cells. I don't know what these are. These are I found these cylindrical cells in one of the batteries I bought, and they're called headway cells, I guess. I don't know. 4015 2S, maybe that's what they are. I know I've seen the Julian guy do a video on them. I prefer 18650s and batteries like similar to that size, 21700s. I think the 21700s are a great battery. But I mean, you know, a lot of you guys aren't going to get that deep into the battery stuff. So, you know, I would say just find an affordable, you know, lithium iron phosphate battery, preferably one with ring terminal connectors on it. You know, 20 amp hours or less, and you're good to go, you know. Yeah, here's these headway cells again. Yeah. Another bioano battery. Look at this. They want $351 for a 30 amp hour battery. That's nuts. Absolutely insane. There's a 12 amp hour battery, $180. Just don't do it, guys. Seriously. That's all I got. Over and out.